Let's go.
This your back, it dey keep person. It dey bring out the best in me. I dey feel your recipe. Make you give me that recipe. Fine, fine. Yeah, you fine. You so divine. I dey feel you die.
Alright, y'all, welcome back. New episode, Thunderbolts, official review. I got out of theaters, just watched it. Maybe a couple hours ago. I had finished the playoff game, but it was alright. I'm gonna tell y'all what it said. It was alright. Everybody's saying it's best Marvel movie in a long time. I gotta disagree. I definitely thought Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was probably better than this. Deadpool and Wolverine wasn't better as a story, but it was a better experience as far as the theater experience. I gave Captain America a 6.8. Captain America Brave New World. I'm going to give Thunderbolts like a 7.1, 7.2. It's still a little bit better, but it's not that much better. I don't know why everybody hyping it up. I'm going to go ahead and jump into spoilers. If you ain't seen it, you ain't seen it. We're going to jump into spoilers. So in this movie, it's all about like mental health issues and depression and all that stuff. And I'm not mad at that. I like it. I think they did a very good job with it. I just felt like some of it was a little bit too on the nose. You know what I mean? Like they hit the hammer a little bit too hard. Like, oh, I'm just depressed. Like, like some of it was like you gotta sprinkle it in to where we have to figure it out as an audience. Like, oh, okay, we understand what he's going through. I think one of the things I liked about The Walking Dead was when Rick was going off. When Rick was going off just murking people, I started to realize that like this dude has an addiction. He has a problem. And I could diagnose him as an audience member, as a fan. So I felt like you should have had more of that in there if you want to take that mental health route with it. The Sentry was cool, man. I like Sentry. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they're gonna do with him. Like, they got this superpowered dude just chilling, like ready to snap and go off at any time, and just and murk the whole city into a whole different Void. So I like the Void. I like the effects of the Void's powers. It was lit, but we didn't get enough Sentry. There's a reason why. So someone said they watched these movies and they weren't. It's like it's a good movie. I really liked it, but I wasn't fulfilled. And I'm thinking the reason why it's not fulfilling is because they left so much out. You have so much opportunity that we just didn't get. Like we got to see the Sentry in action for like one scene. He beat up the Thunderbolts and that was it. And they knew they couldn't beat him, so they dipped. And I was like, we didn't get to see this dude fly around the city. We didn't get to see him have this effect on everybody. We didn't get to see none of that. And I think someone's like, it's Marvel's back. It did not feel like a Marvel movie. It felt like a Disney Plus movie. A good Disney Plus movie, but still Disney Plus. It's like, because even when you watch the Disney Plus shows, they give you like 6 episodes, but they save like 1 or 2 good action scenes and just spread it out. And that's kind of what they did here. They had like the scene where they meet each other and they start fighting was probably the best action scene because it was the one that we get to display their powers a little bit. But wasn't enough superhero to superhero combat in this movie. A lot of beating up regular dudes, which is fine, but it becomes filler. A lot of the action scenes feel like filler when you're just beating up regular dudes. There's no boss that comes out. Even in Captain America, when he was fighting some regular guy, he pulled out this big Russian dude. All right, yeah, he's the boss in this fight scene. So, like, every soldier you fight is trash. Like, I don't understand that. It's one thing. Yelena, she was cool. I always like Yelena. I wanted to see some of the funny side of her. Like when she was in Hawkeye with Kate Bishop. They went kind of more the depressed route, even though she's kind of like that in Black Widow, but she still had some more comedy about her. Her action scenes really are it's just not believable. The best thing they did with her was whenever at the end when Sentry was throwing all the furniture at her, and she was doing the Black Widow type dodging slash. I think I might be Spider Man type dodging of the furniture, which was cool. Which one question: where's Spider Man at? The whole city in New York is going black, and this dude is just like, nah, I'm off today. It's my off day. You know what I mean? Where's Daredevil? Where's Doctor Strange and everybody in New York while this whole thing is going down? But either way, Yelena was cool. Bucky's always awesome, but they did not use him. If you are a Bucky fan, do not be excited to watch this movie because he's barely used. He is a side character. And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is why the movie leaves you fulfilled. You got unfulfilled. You got a guy like Bucky, and he doesn't like really beat anybody's ass the whole movie. Like I think he beat up some guards and he blew up the cars. Like blowing up the cars is cool. That's a cool intro scene, but that can't be all we get. That can't be all we get. If that's the highlight of Bucky in the movie, then you failed Bucky. You failed him. The Winter Soldier was a ruthless. We liked to see the brainwashed one mission to destroy, seek, kill, relentless, never ending character that just keeps coming at you with all kinds of tactical super soldier type ass whooping skills. And we didn't get to see that. Like it's he didn't even need to be in the movie. Why is he a congressman? I don't understand what's the point and who voted for this. Like Donald Trump is one thing, bro. This dude is a known killer. Like he got real bodies. Like ain't no. Let's be honest, Donald Trump crazy. Ain't nobody really worried about him whooping your ass. Uh, uh, Bucky on the other hand, this dude is murdered like superpowered people. So you know that, like I don't know, man. He was underutilized. Ghost completely underutilized. She was literally once again a side character, and it kind of didn't make sense for her to be who she was in this show or in this movie. Because if you think about Ghost in Ant-Man 2, she didn't really have a storyline. Like she was only acting a fool just to save her own life, but that doesn't necessarily mean she was a bad person. When did she become a mercenary and just start killing people and have no soul and be a depressed? Like when did she become a villain? She was kind of more of like an anti-villain. Like I'm trying to just save my life, but once she was healed by um, Hope's mom, what was her name? I can't remember her name. Janet. Yeah, once Janet healed her, we didn't know that she was a bad guy, good guy. It's been since she was here before Endgame. That's before Ant-Man and Wasp was before Endgame. We still ain't seen this character, and we were just supposed to assume that she was a bad guy. It didn't make any sense. Taskmaster. Well, we know what happened to them, and we knew what was gonna happen to them. Why even put them in the movie? Why did y'all bastard? Why did you bastardize the character? And I was telling people, hey, there's still hope. Okay, they was mad about. So once again, I gotta just take the L on this one because I was telling people there's hope for Taskmaster. She was under the Red Room control, and now she's breaking free. So now once she broke free, you could do anything you want with this character. You could take them any way you want. You could take a good guy, bad guy, with guard. Show how their combat and their skills work, how they mimic other people's fighting styles, and give them an actual storyline and meaning. But you just marked her off the beginning, so she was bastardized and useless. I mean, I want to say useless, bastardized in the Black Widow movie, and then just completely useless in this movie. And it's just like, wow, let's get rid of her. Why you put her in there? Like, if you're gonna headshot somebody just for an easy kill to show how ruthless it is, you should have used somebody whose story was done. You know what I mean? And not someone whose story never even started. Best character y'all had was John Walker. John Walker held it down. He was honestly my favorite character in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, just because he's a crash out and he's off the man, he ain't a deadbeat dad. And Yelena shitted on him for that. But like he was the best character. He had the most dynamic of like, okay, we get who you are, we get why you act a certain way to cover up your feelings, your emotions. You want to be this great noble dude, but you're really not. Um, he was funny. We didn't get to see his super soldier serum enough, but he did. I did like the action scene, especially when he came in at the beginning. But see, this is my thing. Captain America, Brave New Era, the stories push through exposition. They just kind of tell you what's happening. It's like that's Deadpool. And that's this movie. They did this so much in this movie. It's just like, oh yeah, if you're depressed, you got to deal with your mental illness, and you can't hold it all inside. And I'm like, bruh, why do y'all have to just? You can't artistically find a way to send a message to where it doesn't sound like you're just preaching to people and not, you know what I mean? And like actually, these people are actually going through something that is relatable. Red Guardian, I don't know how to feel about Red Guardian because I feel like once again it's another character you could have actually gave storyline, gave meaning to, gave interest to, but you just want to use him as comedic relief. David Harbour's funny to me. I think he is funny to me. I think the movie had a lot of funny parts. I had a lot of jokes that did not land, and they had a lot of jokes that did land. It was cool. But the action, they got to take the action up. I feel like that's the biggest part of a lot of these movies. Is like they're trying to shortcut the action. The movies used to feel so big, right? When you watch the Marvel movie, it was like big, like you were in the universe, like you were in it. And now it just feels like I'm watching it. Like it's just, I don't know, it's different. Like when you watch even Black Widow was like a grand movie. Like it's like shit was blowing up left and right. And this one it feels like they'll do a couple fight scenes and they'll be like, oh right, we forget to show the scene and we're gonna have a crane fall down out of nowhere and then there's gonna be nothing later. Like it's just not top quality. Even though the storyline is good. Like I said, some of the jokes did land. The storyline itself for me is actually somewhat creative to have the whole mental health issue kind of pushing through the different characters and the different dynamics and how different people are affected and all that stuff and how they're all relatable even though they're all different. I like that, but it just could have been executed better. I think it was some good ideas, but the execution was just a little bit off. But the Century was cool. We just should have got more. It's kind of like Red Hulk. Red Hulk was all right to get, but we should have got more. They just keep saving like, oh, we'll save the good part for the end. No, we should have got that more. Like when Deadpool and Wolverine dropped, even though the storyline is crazy, we got two Deadpool and Wolverine fights that were like well choreographed, well seen. We got the team up fight with Blade and Gambit, which was well choreographed. You know what I mean? And then we got the fight against all the Deadpools, which was another well choreographed. It's like you got every fight you wanted to see. We even got the fight at the beginning with the Deadpool. That was the warm up fight. The Deadpool, the bye. Like that was well choreographed. That was an action scene that was like leave you on the edge of your seat. You're intense. It was intense. You don't know what's gonna happen. You're gonna throw the sword off the ground, hit the dude in the face. He's gonna pull out Wolverine. It's creative. And I felt like a lot of the action scenes weren't creative. The most creative ones were the one where they all got together and they fought each other. And then when they fought the Sentry for the first time, I will say the Void is awesome though. I loved everything they did with the Void, where he was just poofing y'all into shadows. That was dope. That was dope. That was dope. But I wish they I guess they don't want to be like that. But I was wishing they just killed him though. Like when he pushed you to the shadow, you should have just died. Like that would have been gangster. That would have made the whole movie way more gangster if you just had the balls to kill everybody. Like you wouldn't have to poof for so many people if you know what I mean. But he was out there poofing people and it was dope. The end game, I was like, is this Moon Knight? When they're in the void, it's like Moon Knight going through, which Doom Patrol did it better. It's a DC show. If you ain't seen it, go check it out. Doom Patrol did it better, but just going through the different rooms and every room was a different memory. They did it well, but it's been done before. That's the only thing I was like, okay. And then I said they're not gonna end this movie with a super hug. They're not gonna end Thunderbolts with a super hug to save the day. And a super hug saved the day. Wow. And you know what I mean? I wasn't even mad at it, but it's still funny to think about, you know? And there's just so many times where there's like, oh, they're trying to be gangster. They're like, have your lane to start off the show, kicking people's ass hand to hand, pow, pow, two shots to these, oh, you're killing people. But then it's like, then they tone it down when it's supposed to happen. You're like, wait, why is Sentry not killing people? They should have introduced Sentry and the Void way earlier in the show. Like, it was so much Bob. And then it's like, Bob was cool, but we should have had Sentry flying around wrecking shit. You know what I mean? That would have been a better problem. But the problem was created and ended in the same day, within the same like hour. Like, it was it was so fast. Like, the Avengers, they used think about that Thor and Hulk fight. You know what I'm saying? And they're fighting. That's a fight within a fight, because then they're doing all the side fighting with all the characters. They're fighting over on the ship, over here. Some Iron Man's doing this, Captain America's doing this. There's so much dynamic in the action, and that wasn't even the end action scene. You know what I mean? You take Age of Ultron, when they're breaking into the base, and there's so much. Hey, we got the hammer shield hit. Hawkeye gets shot. We get to see Quick and Silver. We get to see Hulk smashing people. Pause. We get to see Captain America wreck shop with his motorcycle and stuff. Like, we get to see Iron Man infiltrate the building. Not done. Everybody had a different part, and it was all like, it was more spread out, I guess, throughout the battlefield. And in the Thunderbolts, in most recent Marvel, they just don't spread it out, so it doesn't feel as grand. It's not like we got this part of the ship and that part of the ship. Those are the scenes I just brought up weren't even the end fight scenes. Those are just like the beginning fight scenes. Those are the warm up fight scenes. Think about when Bucky came in with the motorcycle and blew up the cars, and compare that to when Bucky and Captain America and Black Panther were running through the streets, and then Falcon was behind. That was a way better scene, because it was so much more. It was so much more creative, so much more going on. This one was just like, yo, all right, Bucky gonna pull up and he gonna blow up the cars, and then he gonna save it. And it was like, it took you 3 seconds to think of that. And you know what I mean? It took you 3 seconds to think of that fight scene, and it took you probably 1 second to choreograph it. Like, he literally didn't fight or didn't win a fight. This movie, I don't remember Bucky winning a fight. He just get tossed around and bitched around, and it's kind of crazy. But either way, I'm gonna say the positive. Sentry was cool. They didn't nerf his powers, even though I do like that they powered down the Marvel characters compared to their cartoon or their comic book counterparts. Sentry was not, and I kind of like that. I like that he was really, really powerful. I'm gonna predict Doom comes in and murks him immediately in the Void, and then everybody sees how strong Doom is. I feel like Doom should murk Sentry, Gaia, and like Scarlet Witch or somebody, and you'll be like, okay, he's strong for real. Maybe Kang. Uh, but what else is positive? It was funny. John Walker was awesome. I like John Walker. Yelena was good. Even Ghost was good, but you could have gave her a storyline, man. You could have gave her something. If you ain't gonna do nothing with him, leave him out the movie. You know what I mean? Even in the first Avengers, Hawkeye had story. Hawkeye had story. Black Widow in Avengers 1 was used way better than Ghost was used in this movie. Way better. It's like they cared about the character. This one was like, we just need somebody to do it. You know what I mean? So who we're gonna pick? And it's like, okay, yeah, you just say these lines that we could interchange with any character that we'd rather have. So I didn't like that part, but I did like John Walker's Sentry. I did like the fight scene where they all got together. Most of the jokes landed for me, at least. I did like some of the jokes. I'm gonna give it a 7.2. It was a solid movie. Once again, Marvel, it doesn't feel like a Marvel movie. It definitely feels like a Disney Plus movie. But regardless, it's getting better, but I don't think you will never get what we used to have back, because that stuff was just, they were they had so much to prove, you know what I mean? And when people have something to prove, they do something. That's what Deadpool Wolverine was. We got to prove that we can still got it, and they came out and they did it. But then this ain't the same people who made that movie, so it's not the same. But Thunderbolts is a solid entry into the Marvel universe. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, this just hit me. Like, is the Thunderbolts better than the Marvels? Yes, it actually. Now I'm putting it together. Yeah, it is. But they're rocking on the same boat. They're very similar. Like, there's just, they got some good ideas. It's just like, give us more. Give us the execution. Give us the fight that's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. I wasn't the best. The only I didn't see that coming was when Red Guardian saved that little girl. And we was like, oh, and then he snapped her, and then the boy snapped her ass. Was like, nah, anybody can get it. We marking everybody. That was the best part of the movie, for sure. But that was my Thunderbolts review. I'll probably go see it again. My money looking right. I might go get me some chicken tenders or something and go check out the movie one more time. Maybe, once you rewatch them, the rewatch is really what tells you how good the movie is. Your initial watch is one thing, but the rewatch will tell you how good the movie really is. Because you're no longer waiting to see what happens next. You just know. So you're just in it. Either way, I hope y'all liked it. Hope y'all liked the video. Check out the links in the bottom. Get you a Trust Method shirt. Go check out the song, Spotify, Apple Music. Scan the QR code. Check out the new video. I'm out.
Don't play with my patience. Man, they gone with the flow when they tryna fake it. That's not the way I roll. That's not the combination. You start off with the dough before you start the conversation. No one start the salutations, man, don't play with me. I'm coming from a place they would hate to be. I'm going through a phase you would hate to see. They say this life's a trip. Ain't no telling where it's taking me. When you on the edge and you make your next move, better be your best. Before you throw it to the depths, better reinvest. Man, I count every moment and count every step, so I know I'm blessed. Now it's